For years, I hated myself in photos. I felt okay in real life, but I hated and I felt so wrong in every photo. And people, my friends, my family were driving me even more crazy because they were like, "You're good. It's good. I mean, it's you. You need to accept yourself. I mean, it's just you." And I was like, "This is not me. Or if it is, it's even more painful than what I thought." And it was actually not helping to tell me just focus on your self-image, just try to love yourself, because I was not recognizing myself. And I also were a photographer, and so I knew I trusted my aesthetic eye enough to know that this was not eye pleasing. This was not beautiful. This was not nice. And this didn't felt like me. It was not just about loving myself more or self image or all of that, although we all have to work on those, but it was deeper than that. The problem is that after that it becomes an identity, I was the girl who is not photogenic. I was the girl who is never good on photos, in my mind, in my head. And so I started to fear the camera. I didn't want people to take photos of me. I was always like, didn't know where to put my arms and shoulders in the photo or how to smile, because in the back of my head there was a voice saying like, this gonna turn out horrible. So today I want to share 5 things with you that I never saw anywhere and that actually changed everything for me. I wish I'd comprehend all of that sooner, because to be honest it created some argument with my husband. I even felt at some point that people were taking bad photos of me on purpose, which is, I believe, the case of some people. I still believe some people do that, or at least they are happy that you are not looking like the light that they see in you. Anyway, this is a story for another time. But today I want to share 5 things that really helped me get out of that non-photogenic girl posture and really start to appreciate myself in photos and stop feeling like I'm a horrible person just because I'm not good in every photo, but also regain my self-esteem, because it can be very, very hard on self-esteem and confidence when you constantly see yourself, because it's the only way to see yourself, in mirrors and in photos. This is literally the only way that we can see ourselves. So it really has an impact that is not just vanity when you constantly see images of yourself reflected back to you as something just not aesthetic pleasing, not aesthetically eye pleasing, not beautiful, in a bad posture, bad manners, bad face, bad everything, bad light, bad angle. And it really impacts your self-esteem, which then impacts the way you show up in this life. So it's actually a big topic, and not so many people talk about it, or if they do, they talk about it in the angle that you just should love yourself more and accept your image. And I think this is not the problem here. So let's dive into it. First is that even a very, very beautiful woman will look tense and frozen and weird in photos if they don't practice it, if they are not used to it. And I can tell you that because I was a photographer for 5 to 6 years, and I took a lot of wedding photography. And in wedding photography, the thing is that there are sometimes some very, very beautiful brides, and it's also a day where you have a lot of makeup and a nice dress and your hair are done. So most of the women are very beautiful. But I swear to you, even the most beautiful bride, if she was not used to the camera, and most of the time is the case, some people have their first photo shoot in their lives at their wedding, and even very, very beautiful women were feeling a little bit ugly and mismatched and weird in photos if I was not there too. That was the full spectrum of my job was to, yes, take photos of the wedding, but also be there to guide them and make them comfortable and try to make their real self shine. So posing is a skill. It's even a job actually. And being able to be captured in the right way is also a skill and a job. Lighting, posture, angle, the right photographer for you, all of that has a real impact. Many of the women that you think are naturally photogenic were actually guided, or they practiced, or they had some type of conscious or unconscious exposure to it. And as a former photographer, I can tell you this, that in brand photographies, the things that you see on the magazines and a jewelry book with women wearing the jewelry or whatever, like clothes and all of that, brands that have a little bit of money, because of course brands that start and don't have money, sometimes they do what they can, but brands that have a little bit of money, they will never take a newbie as a model. Even if the woman is super super beautiful, if she doesn't know how to pose, if it's not her job, they will not hire her, they will not take her, because they know it's a waste of time. It's really a waste of time and therefore money, because even the most beautiful girl will look like a little bit weird and tense and frozen, and it will take so much takes to have good photos. So photogenic women, they just know what to do, how to pose, how to move, how to smile, what to show, what to hide, how to hide it naturally. And you could too, but it's impossible for you to learn that if you are stuck in the mindset that you are not photogenic, that this is just who you are. Second, it will never be fully you. You are in 3D and the photo will always represent you in 2D. And some people especially have a 3D beauty that doesn't translate in 2D. Even the best photo of you in the best light, best angle, best photographer, best place will not look 100% fully like you, like someone experiencing you from the outside. Any photo is a frozen microsecond. And literally, nobody experiences you like this in real life. That distortion can create an emotional shock, which is real. But you need to remind yourself, I have a 3D kind of beauty. I have a 3D beauty. And you would not want to exchange it for a 2D beauty, trust me. Now, three, it's a truth that you might not be prepared for, but you need to understand that, and it will actually, after it sting you a little bit, it will actually change everything. Sometimes we will say things like, and it was really me, I was like, I feel beautiful today, but I don't know, the camera didn't catch it. I really felt good, and I don't know why I cannot see that on the camera, on the photo. In that moment, we are actually hiding behind the camera because it is easier, safer, better, softer for the ego to believe it's the camera's fault. It's external, it's not on us. But at the same time, if it's not on you, then you don't have any power to change it. And it makes you powerless. So it might be soft and better and easier for the ego, but it's also a prison for yourself. The truth is, often we didn't really feel beautiful that day. It's not really what happened. What happened is we felt hopeful. And it was me, really. I was hopeful. I was hopeful that this day the camera will finally take who I am correctly. I was hopeful that finally this day I could have a nice photo of me. I was hopeful that my best version will suddenly show up. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel that about myself. I was just hoping. And hope is cute, but it doesn't change anything. And then the photo shows not what we hope to see, it just shows what there is and what we don't want to see, what we don't even want to admit to ourselves sometimes. Those 4 extra kilos that we are trying to not think about, this double chin that we are trying to not look at, this puffy face that we try to avoid and try to pretend that it's just today. It's just because yesterday I drank a little bit alcohol. It's just because today I didn't drink enough water. It's not so important. But it is. It is important because those things have a reason to be there. There is a reason for your face to be puffy. There is a reason why you have 4 extra kilos. There is a reason why you started having a double chin. And those reasons are linked to not so vain things happening in your life and mind and how you are evolving. Things you might not be ready to see right now. Maybe your relationship is actually making you glow down. Maybe your family situation, maybe you need to cut some things off and you don't want to do that. It's okay, but you know what? The camera doesn't discriminate. The camera doesn't remove all the things we don't want to see. It's just to take that microsecond, and if in that microsecond there is that things appearing, it will appear and it will confront us very harshly, because then we come from the highest hope to the most down of realization that this is a part of what we look like, which doesn't mean that it is you, because none of that is you. Not your double chin, not your extra kilos, not your dry skin or puffy face. Those are just signals, and sometimes a bit of lag in the matter, because you know the matter is slower than your identities. So maybe you switch inside, but the outside still didn't switch. In any case, the only thing you need to tell yourself is that relax in the fact that no one actually experiences you like this. People who look at you from the outside don't experience a frozen double chin in front of your neck. Don't experience your 4 extra kilos being so vividly thrown at them. In real life, there are too many informations. People are speaking, moving, making sounds. You know, your full senses are receiving those information, the colors, the temperatures, and everything, the environment. And so you don't have the time to experience people like a frozen photo. In real life, there is movement. Small imperfections are invisible. So you should not fear the photo as a confirmation of all that you fear that you might be. Too fat, too big, too skinny, too puffy. No one experiences you like this. But it's a visual information of something that needs to be treated, something that needs to be looked at. There is something that needs to be transformed, or something that was transformed internally but needs the follow up of the body to catch up externally. This is totally another video, but we can work on that because it's also very different for every person. Like I said, sometimes maybe you are lost in your career, professional life, and it's this stress or this confusion is showing up on your face, on your skin, or whatever. Sometimes maybe it's your relationship, sometimes maybe it's just childhood habits, sometimes maybe it's different things that stayed stuck on your face, on your body, on your mind. I love to dig into it with my clients, and they always end the session feeling like it was a deep transformative experience. So if you feel like you need that, please contact me for one-on-one coaching. 4. The body carries old stories, old expressions, old insecurities, old posture, old emotions, all of that. Even if your awareness changed, even if your inner growth advanced, even if your mindset or maturity evolved, I told you matter is slower than identity. So a lot of the times, in transition phases, in growth phases, the camera will capture an outdated version of you. And I know that hurts the most because you are in that in between, feeling who you are becoming, and still you are seeing visibly that old version of you like stuck on your face, physically visibly, and you feel like stuck in that old self. And you've worked so hard to transcend and kill that old self, and still it stands there right in front of you. But this is actually the last phase of integration. How will you react when you see your old self? How will you interpret it? Will you then go back to it? Will you then be frustrated? Will you then stop believing that you actually changed inside? Or will you keep faith, move forward, and let the matter realign? So, the way you react when you see a bad photo of you or a photo that doesn't represent you is very telling of where you stand in that in between era of your journey. And five, and last point, but the most important, is that because of all those reasons and even more, because I could talk about this topic for hours, start considering that there is a photo you, like there is an inner you, a girl friendships you, real life you, internet self you, or social media self you. Consider that there is a photo you also. And start interpreting when you see a photo of yourself, start dissociating a little bit, like this is not really you, this is just photo you. So photo you might be a bit chubby today, photo you might be a bit not dressed properly today, not like you would like to be dressed or represented. And then just learn about photo you know just curate and create what you want to see, because just like a character that you might play on social media that is not 100% you, even if you try to be authentic, there is a photo you that will never be 100% you, whatever as authentic as you want to be in front of the camera or the lens. So start to study that and to create what you want to embody, to create what you want to see, just like you create and curate all other identities and part of you that you want to play in this life. Don't forget that this is a game. Don't take it seriously, because you know that same for social media or work or whatever. If you start to taking it too seriously, it will not feel good. You need to know who you are and be able to come back to that at any point. But at the same time, you can play with it instead of feeling like you have to suffer and accept it or live with it. You can actually study it, you can actually practice it. Who is photo you and how it can actually evolve. I'll give you a real life example with me. Photo me is having easily big arms. In real life, yeah, my arms are slightly bigger than what, I don't know what is normal, but yeah, maybe my arms are slightly bigger in real life too. But you know what, in real life it's not a focus, it's invisible. I'm dressed, or even if I'm undressed, I'm moving, I'm talking, and everything is harmonious together. But in photo, for some reason, my arms appear so big. Photo me has big arms, you know I could accept it and feel like, okay, I just need to love myself more with big arms. But you know what? That's not really me. That's just photo me. And I can curate that because it's just like a character. And so I've just learned to position them, never press them against my body, because when they are pressed, they appear bigger, and a little bit pushing my shoulders forward and trying to create some angles with my arms instead of having them like so straight, near my body. And that's it. Like I'm creating what I want to see, something harmonious and not focused on any big arms. But of course, if I'm not careful, what's being created is the same as if you try to do a painting without being careful and letting painting go anywhere. It will, most of the time, unless you are like Jackson Pollocks or Jason Pollocks. What is his name? Pollocks. The problem with famous people and painters, we always use only their last name, and I tend to forget their first name. Tell me in the comments, what is the first name of Pollocks? Like, is it Jason or Jackson? It's something like that. Anyway, this guy who was throwing paints all over the place and selling his art for so much money. But I mean, most of the time, if you just throw the painting on every color and you don't care what you are doing or you are not intentional, it will look like a big chunk of paint, probably brownish color, and it will not look good because you didn't put any intention into it, you know? So it's the same. Photo you is just like a character. And it's okay if you don't care about it and you don't want to put any intentionality into it. But if you're here today wondering why you look so horrible all the time in photos, you need to start understanding that this is a character, this is a painting, and you can, if you want, be intentional with it and create with it. Create what you want to see. So start analyzing. When you don't like a photo of you, don't just tell yourself, oh, this is, once again, this is not me, I'm not photogenic, I don't like myself in photo. Okay, nice, but look at it. What it is that you really don't like. Is it like me that just your arms are appearing too big? Okay, what can you create with it? How can you create with it? How can you create something harmonious? How can you position your arms? Just learn how to pose, learn that skill. It's just a skill. It's not an identity. It's not the identity of being or not being photogenic. It's a skill of knowing or not knowing how to arrange your own photo self in front of a camera, in front of a lens. So analyze and tell yourself, okay, I realize that I don't like that with my photo self, and I will find a way to arrange that for next photos. Don't take anything personally. Gather the data, practice, analyze, try again, take yourself in photo, try, and remove the affect. You know, the affect of trying to identify yourself with something. I am photogenic, I'm not photogenic, I'm good, I'm not good. Try to remove that affect, try to remove that identification, and just be in your analytical self. It's not really about beautiful or not beautiful in the end. It's more about a learning curve of your photo self. So, what exactly feels off? Don't just say, I don't look like myself. What doesn't look like you? And puffy or not puffy is not more or less you. It's like a wardrobe. If you decide to wear red because red goes better with your skin, and you decide to not wear blue, it's not more you in red, it's not less you in red, it's not more you in blue, it's not less you in blue. It's just two colors and you are just deciding to put one that you prefer. And babe, we are constantly comparing to other women visual identity. Most images online are curated, edited, retaken, styled intentionally. So an interesting question could also be, why is it so important that this photo represents 100% of me? Or even, why is it so important that this photo represents me? Who am I really trying to impress? And it's totally okay. For example, you need good photos because you use Instagram for your business and you need good photos on Instagram to look at your best and attract more clients. Or whatever you want, good photos for Tinder or any app and to meet the love of your life. But then you can even more separate from your identity. View it as a creative project. And in a creative project, it's not always looking the best. It's not so important. Maybe you create with your outfits, and today your outfit is like meh. Maybe you create with food, and today your food is like bah. It happens. It's the proof that you are experiencing. It's the proof that you are like a painting, like an artwork. If anything, it proves even more your natural, borderline, iconic beauty. You're not unphotogenic. You're just untrained, still in transition, way too serious about it, and comparing unfairly. None of that means you're not beautiful, not enough, or not capable of big magnetism. So, babe, you got this. See you in the next one.